Hey, Crown Content Publications followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners. Thank you for clicking on my video today to see what it is I have to say. My very first attempt at a movie review over here at the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel. And yes, I know y'all, us came out way in 2019, but I'm still going to do a movie review. I'm going to do a movie review. And then if y'all, I tell y'all what, because this is the first one, I won't do a challenge because this is my first movie review. Okay. But I'm gonna come back and start doing other movie reviews from now on, because like I'm way behind the game with this one. See, I've always been a type of person, I don't just watch any type of movies, y'all. Like some of us, y'all know what they call entertainment. You know what I'm saying? I was saying that on another stream the other day. Like what people laugh from different places. You know what I'm saying? Their laughter come from their what they find funny. Sometimes laughter comes out of hate, sometimes laughter comes out of fear, sometimes laughter comes out of pain. I mean, laughter comes from different places, right? So, what entertains me, not just speaking about comical movies or comical scripts and books and stuff like that, I'm just saying what entertains me in general. I look at that, when if I'm gonna put a whole hour and a half, 2 hours into watching a movie, it's got to be something that's for real, for sure, that I'm interested in or I'm intrigued by. And this is why I want to do this more on the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel, for sure, because this also showcases what writers, you know what I'm saying, what's really on our shoulders, what's really on our backs when we bring something like film scripts to the forefront. So welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I'm Miss Whitney, Arthur podcaster Miss Whitney. I'm on here today to do a movie review, to give my opinions about the movie Us and what the writer, you know what I'm saying, speak up for the writer a little bit, talk about some of the research about Jordan Peele that I found. That's the writer of the movie Us, for anybody that didn't know. And he also um, produced Get Out, this same writer. So this is great. This is right up our alley over here, right? We knew this already. We know that I tell y'all over here as a publishing coordinator, there are so many areas in fields and careers and jobs when it comes to writing. And then where that can take you. Because we're going to talk about Mel Gibson a little bit before I even talk about Jordan Peele, the film writer of the movie Us. Okay? So yeah, y'all could be like, she's late. That movie came out in 2019. I don't care. I saw other, you know what I'm saying? YouTubers already who have done their versions of reviews on this same movie, okay? And on the movie Get Out. So I've just never publicly come out and said how these movies made me feel, what my opinion about them was, and things like that. So how y'all doing out there? Happy Sunday, happy August, and because it's still summer, happy summer to you guys out there. We from the Crown Content Publications family, we encourage you guys to stay cool, drink plenty of water, get plenty of rest, because the heat is nothing to play with. Don't even go out there in it if it's not necessary, because yeah, people are out there, and stay hydrated. That's number one. That's just number one. Happy Sunday to you guys out there. One second, I'm finna come back and we're gonna talk a little bit about Mel Gibson. Give this video a like, and yeah, leave the number one. Just leave a number one in the comments if you'd like to see me come back and do more movie reviews. Even if y'all don't see, check out this stream. Till later, okay? I'ma also whoop, because I do need to start doing this. I don't know where I've been. I'm finna start pretty much putting my cash up here too when I get on here, so that anybody who might want to contribute and be a supporter of the current content publications this 2023 fall that we're going into, and our mission to assist independent writers and entrepreneurs. That cash app is $ crown content. Okay, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss other streams like this on movie reviews or just real life events across the world that affect us all. And we also do our promotional interviews with authors and entrepreneurs as well. So this channel, we got so much more coming. I can't disclose it all today. This is a movie review segment. All right. But we appreciate you guys' support. $ Crown Content is the cash out. I'm definitely gonna start shouting out our supporters right here on the channel when we get on our lives. Not just when you guys contribute when I'm live, but sometimes stuff like that comes in later or something like that. You be like, where did this come from? We still are gonna shout out our supporters and contributors live here from now on, okay? 1 second, guys. I'm finna come back and talk about Mel Gibson though. So yeah, Mel Gibson. Yeah, because I'm hearing this is why I'm finna talk about Mel Gibson before I even talk about the writer, the producer of the movie Us, who also wrote Get Out. How y'all doing out there, writers? You guys remain inspired, motivated, dedicated, especially you independent writers, you self-published authors and writers. Okay? Because I don't know, like if you're doing this type of work without a vision or a goal, still on the business side of stuff, Crown Publishing Content. My channel is called Crown Content Publications, but Crown Publishing Content is here and offers services to help you get that vision together. Because like if you're not like a vision or goal, not saying we should all want what Mel Gibson wants, but I want to tell y'all something he's done with his work that should inspire us to do similar or the same. Because he only had a 30, according to my research, he only had a $30 million budget for the movie The Passion of Christ. Okay. Y'all remember that movie? It was a 2004 release film, Passion of the Christ. Y'all know who Mel Gibson is. I believe he also helped to produce the movie Signs. Y'all remember that movie with the aliens and everything? Great movie. He's a great actor, okay? I'm a big Mel Gibson supporter through the ups and downs. Some of you guys are Tom Cruise supporters. I'm a Mel Gibson supporter for sure. There's nothing Mel Gibson can do in my eyes. There's no wrong Mel Gibson can do in my eyes. He's put in that much work into and now that I understand the film and writing industry a little more and producing and stuff like that and publishing, I respect Mel Gibson even more. Mel Gibson has nothing to do with the movie Us. Y'all keep up with me. I'm talking about this honorable actor, producer, writer first for a reason. So when because everybody is talking about the movie The Sound of Freedom, which I have not been, uh, I haven't had the opportunity to go check that one out yet. The Sound of Freedom. Y'all know that movie just came out. But what I am hearing is that this movie at first was like rejected or banned from certain mainstream, you know what I'm saying, like Hollywood and stuff like that. Like people just rejected it, right? When they submitted this movie for approval to, try to make them some box office money. I'm hearing that it was rejected. I'll leave some links in the comments, not in the chat, but in the comments of this video when the stream is over. Okay? Yeah, I heard it was rejected. But as we see now, the movie's out there. This is not the only movie that this has happened to, guys. I get what everybody's saying and how it's wrong that this movie was rejected because it was kind of airing out and exposing quote unquote, sex trafficking crimes and stuff like that. That's what The Sound of Freedom is supposed to be about. Like I said, I still haven't seen the movie personally, but I'm glad I think more movies on stuff like that should come out all the time. I mean, that's my opinion, but I still haven't seen it yet. So, but that is awful to know that it was rejected. Hollywood rejected it and stuff like this. Okay, because we're going to talk about the writer of that film too, and what I researched about the writer of that film. But see, Passion of the Christ, which was released in 2004, also went through the same thing this movie Sound of Freedom went through, y'all. And you know, these films are on totally different topics. Passion of the Christ was supposed to be about the life of Jesus Christ, right? And until his death. And then uh this one, Sound of Freedom, is about something totally different. And it was released years later. And the same thing happened to it, where they might send it back to the writers. They might send it back to the producers and say, look, uh, uh, you need to change this and that and that. We're not going to accept this like this. Let's talk about this. This is a great topic for the Crown Content Publications family this Sunday, because this happens also with manuscripts when you submit books sometimes. I've done business segments about this topic, about how many times I personally have had scripts rejected. Or sometimes they will tell you, well, if you can change this or change that or turn this way, then we'll accept your manuscript. Then we'll publish it. Just when it comes to back to that conversation about, even if people don't start as independent contractors and freelancers and entrepreneurs, sometimes why they do end up going this direction. Because how many no's are you supposed to accept? Because nobody wants to accept your work, because nobody wants to accept your ideas, your visions, your what you want to put together as a film, what you want to do as a play or as a book and stuff like this. So as we see, writers as big as Mel Gibson and also Mr. Jordan Peele have gone through these things where their scripts are rejected. Their scripts might have got accepted later somewhere, but uh, this can happen to you on that level or on a level of independent writer like myself and many other authors that we have interviewed right here on this channel. Give this video a like. Once again, like I said, I'm encouraging you guys to subscribe because we're going to be interviewing more independent authors and writers, because I'm just totally re-inspired. Not just by the movie Us, but the more I research about these writers, okay? Because we cannot even in the because you know you got writers in the music industry as well. There's all type of writers, and then there's different level of writers in the music industry. It's not just somebody writing the lyrics. You got somebody writing the music. You got somebody getting a band together. What did y'all think putting these type of projects together came with? So we just talking about the writers though, and Jordan Peele, that brother, he definitely has a gift. I have an eye. I mean, in Hollywood sees it, but like I say, they can be on this level and film still get rejected by Hollywood. The same thing happened to Mel Gibson in 2004. People just don't remember, and he's a different race and all it is. But sometimes, depending on what their storyline is, uh, they can tell you, no, we don't have to accept it. We want you to change this or that first. Let us edit this right here. Make this girl a teenager instead of a grown woman in this scene, and then we want to. Y'all know how it is. We want a man to wear a dress sometime, somewhere in the field, and then we'll give you an $80 million budget for this. This is how it really goes. It's always money involved in the film world. Writers, I hope you guys are listening out there. When y'all do come back and listen to me, okay? I'm just a publishing services coordinator. I enjoy this business for a reason. And like I said, it's different things that entertain us all, right? So these are people that stepped outside of the box as writers and showed people too. Like, see some of our visions, imaginations, whatever you want to call them, intuitions, and we act on that. We begin to write on it. We begin to become artists and things like that. It's beautiful. Yeah, but Mel Gibson had a film that was rejected as well by Hollywood, y'all. It was called The Passion of Christ, okay? What they did is practically, that's why it took so long for that movie to come out. Hold on, guys, 1 second. I'm going to take a, when I come back, we're going to finish talking about Mel Gibson real quick. I'm back, y'all. Mel Gibson's film was rejected. Y'all know he didn't produce and write all his films, and not every actor has the ability to do this. Okay, some actors are just making their acting money. Another thing y'all probably didn't know: a lot of actors are on strike right now. Did y'all know that? A lot of people in Hollywood are actually. We seen the truck drivers do it right during the pandemic. We seen nurses and doctors do this, teachers go on strike. It is what it is. And I'm thinking, wow, what a time to be alive, man. You got the actors saying, hey, we need to be paid more. It ain't my business, but I'm like, what's going on in that world and industry, man? Because I thought they was getting paid. Even they saying, look, it's things is getting more expensive. It's inflation. What's his name? Was it Plies? Y'all just go check it out on Instagram. He's a funny guy. He was just saying how his light bill was $1,200 last month or something, and he thought that was outrageous. But what do you expect when you have a mansion, or whatever? But and he ended up paying it like we all end up doing, or your lights are gonna be out. But yeah, man, Mel Gibson's story, what they wanted him to do was take a lot of those scenes out before they produced that movie. Whatever he had in that movie, when it was originally going to be screened in the movies, when it, they were like, no, this is too much. And they could have just put rated R on it or something. They didn't do that. They told him. And it was called Passion of the Christ. That movie was way longer when he first submitted that script. You know what I'm saying? And they did the same thing to that movie they did to Sound of Freedom. And those two movies are about two total different things. I've always respected Mel Gibson. That's another one of my favorites. That he can write, he can act, yeah, he can produce. We love those. We did. Well, we did. I don't know. Well, Mel Gibson is still respectable in my eyes. Okay, because I'm bringing him up for many reasons. There is a rumor going around that he may have, if he did, he don't want people to know. I don't know what's going on with this, but he may have been one of the writers and producers and helped Mr. Alejandro. I've got. Let me see if I can pronounce his last name. Monteverde. Alejandro Monteverde is the writer of the movie Sound of Freedom, the one that just came out. That's kind of shedding light on sex trafficking crimes. Okay. So once again, I still haven't seen that one. When I do check it out, y'all can actually probably expect me to be back in the next week with that movie review. Because it's just being talked about everywhere. All I can do is check out what they are saying about the movie. I mean, but it is a favorite. But check that out though. Passion of the Christ had a $30 million budget. That movie made almost $700 million. That movie made more than this one right now that they are talking about. Y'all don't play with Mel Gibson, okay? Like it is what it is. And people wonder why I'm not gonna give up on not only being a writer, just really, if anything, more growing and being more bolder about, the kind of ideas I got too. We can talk about Stephen King real quick. This is another person who manuscripts became film scripts. And we talking millions of dollars behind these people. And these are just writers, so y'all don't underestimate them. And we still support y'all at the Crown Content Publications family. And that's why we're trying to bring these interviews back with independent authors and entrepreneurs. Straight up. Because this helps to promote the books and work they already got out here. All we got to do is, for y'all that need to be reminded, go download Audible or Amazon Kindle. It's about $5.99 to subscribe, the basic subscription. You're going to have access to a plethora of authors and writers, children's books, the whole works. Audibles, for those that y'all that don't like to read, the book will read itself to you. And it'll also do this on YouTube because you got a lot of narrators and authors right here on YouTube, like myself, straight up. So let's just keep supporting the writers, because if we're not supporting them, we wouldn't have movies like Sound of Freedom to even come out. Like I said, I'm just one of the other many that are happy to see a movie like this. And we are still in shock that it was rejected by Hollywood before it was put back out here for the public, straight up. So this is what the people are talking about. Moonfall is another one y'all can expect me to probably come back and do a movie review on. It's a 2022 release. That movie's crazy, just about what could possibly happen if our moon was to fall. Y'all think something like this can't happen? We're crazy. Climate change is already happening. We talked about it already with the global warming the other day and what the United Nations came out and said. So it's just crazy that these type of movies be coming out right around the time. This ain't nothing new, but they are starting to hit closer. I can even admit that. Like, man, this a movie could come out only just 6 months ago, a year lately, 2 years ago, and then you kind of see something similar unfold for real about some of these movies. Straight up. That's why I say if I may at least take an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours of my life, of my time to sit down and watch a film, they be interesting. And I love me a good psychological thriller. That see to me, y'all don't understand. That's a different genre. Horror is horror. Horror is horror. Psychological thriller or thriller, mystery is two different things. But don't get it twisted. Mystery and thriller can be scary. Like, but horror is straight up just that. Don't get me wrong. And that's I'm this is how I'm inching in into the movie Us. Cause see, a lot of people would consider that movie a horror. But really, like Jordan Peele said, he really anticipated for this to be more of a psychological thriller. Let's look at the difference. Let's break it down how the writers have to, how the industry looks at it. I just want to do my personal review. I would say Us is more of a psychological thriller than a horror, okay? Not that my opinion has to matter. Mm. That ain't no horror. It's only scary to people who have not considered that something like that could really happen. Just like The Purge. That movie should not be a horror. That movie should be called a psychological thriller to me. Let me give my definition of a psychological thriller to y'all. Something that make you really think. Psychological has to do with the mind and stuff like that. And then it's a thriller too. Yeah, you can expect me to check those type of movies out every time. And yeah, that's just cool. You know, he is an African American film writer and everything at this time. Mr. Jordan Peele was also the writer of Get Out. So I'm intrigued by things like that. I don't just check out films. I try to get in the shoes. Maybe it's just a Arthur writer, me seeing myself writing film scripts one day too, or editing them and doing that type of work. I'm like, man, I try to put myself in these writers' shoes, in their heads, with some of the stuff that they put in these scripts. How that's only going to make me a more powerful writer one day. And they are bold. They are not scared to show their vision, their imaginations. This is what the people want. They don't want the usual. They don't want. Did y'all know? I didn't even know this. I didn't know that Jordan Peele is helping to try to bring back. I think they're gonna try to do a redo, y'all, of Twilight Zone, and I'm here for that. I'm gonna be here for that if they bring out a new if they do that like that and put it on Netflix or something, I'll definitely be there for that. They're gonna make a lot of money off that. See, I see the business side of it too, for sure. But I do try to put myself in a writer's shoes. So I'm just giving him honor and flowers where he's due. That's a big accomplishment to be brought in on a project like that, and they're asking you, can you help us with this now? We seen your gift. We saw how what I'm gonna tell y'all how much the movie Get Out made too. Okay, and in the time that they chose to put that movie out, it was a lot of civil unrest when it came to racism too. It was. I'm just here to remind people. I'm not trying to start no trouble. At that same time that Get Out was released, I don't want to say if that's when George Floyd and all that, but these was real close times, and there was other stuff going on with police brutality. You know what I'm saying? Defunding and funding different cop groups and stuff like this at the time, and that's when this movie was released. So they saw what he could bring to the table with movies like Get Out, and like I said, this one right here called Us. For anybody that haven't seen Us, most of us probably have. Like I said, I'm late with this movie review. It was released in 2019. It is 2023. But I watched it. I'm not gonna lie, I did. I watched it 2 weeks ago. My any movie that sticks with my conscience after I watched it and it's been 2 weeks, it's movie review worthy. Most definitely. It's discussion worthy, all of it. Okay. Yeah, because I was like, man, this writer, when I put myself in his shoes, what was he on? I'm not mocking him or nothing. This man made millions of dollars off of Get Out. He made millions of dollars out for us. He's gonna make millions of dollars if he works with this team that's talking about doing a remake to the Twilight Zone. I like the old version of it. I'm like, that is so cool that this black brother gets to probably help with a project like that. He's even being asked, that he's even being considered for the team. If that ain't inspiration and motivation, okay? So we psychological thriller, horror, two different. Y'all remember that. If you don't remember nothing else I said about this specific movie review, that's two different genres. Okay? Horror is straight up horror. Horror to me is only scary. Something gonna be scary to you if you haven't already decided that this ain't. Why is it scary to you? Like, oh, this scary horrors. Because I want to talk about that movie. They Talk to Me. Have y'all seen it? Have any of y'all seen that one yet? I think that's out or it's coming out soon. Talk to Me is that's what it's called. Y'all see that one? That one look crazy. Where they're playing with the man. So I'll come back and do a movie review on that one too. I was calling out some movies. I told y'all about Moonfall, about the Moonfall, and that came out in 2022. I'm gonna do a movie. Well, it was like Fall and these astronauts. The world had to come together with the astronauts and NASA knowledge and everything they ever knew to try to stop this from happening to save the world. You know, it's a great movie. I ain't gonna tell y'all too much because that one just came out last year. But I'm gonna come back and do a movie review on that one too. The writer of The Sound of Freedom, Alejandro Monteverde, the guy I was just talking about a second ago. Now he's definitely letting everybody know. He's shouting it from the mountaintops. He says, I feel like the film Sound of Freedom that I wrote and produced was a calling. Straight up. Now I know people have different emotions about it, and like I was reporting to you guys that is already going on. This movie was rejected. This movie was rejected by Hollywood. It's y'all can go see it now, but we'll never know. Some are saying they know why it was rejected. This movie is supposed to be exposing and shedding light on sex trafficking crimes. So but he does not care what they feel about it. He's saying that I feel like I was called to what? Boom, right. We are writers over here at this channel. To write a film script about this. And yes, his film script went through some trials and tribulations, some ups and downs, some rejections. Did he stop? Now his movie is making millions of dollars because this is a actual real reality for us out here in the world. We want to see what this writer had to say. We want to see the type of research. What is he trying to show us? That's what we should do. I don't know if people assess their entertainment that way. But like I said, what entertains me, I watched it. I watch what entertained me. Like, why I'm gonna take an hour, 30 minutes out of my day to watch a documentary. It's not gonna you know what I'm saying? Make me knowledgeable somehow, some way. Make me think. Make me go research something. That's how I am now. You know. That don't mean I won't watch a horror. It might be a special type to make me run and spend an hour and a half of my day watching this horror film. Now a psychological thriller, like I said, a mystery, something like that, you can catch me in there like swimwear. I want to check out movies like that all the time. It's one called 222. I don't know when that one came out. And I just like stuff about synchronized numbers and exact times. It was one Justin Timberlake played in too. I don't think it made it to Hollywood. I think it was called End of Time too. It was crazy, but I like stuff like that where you didn't have money anymore. Everybody paid with everything with time. I mean, your time mattered. You had to go buy time. That's how you survive. I'm like, man, it's a crazy. Who wrote it? That's how I think. And then my research carries on from there. Like, which, if I'm going to put myself in the shoes of a writer and call myself a writer, we better know that people do this to us too when we put our work out there. They want to see where them ideas came from. Who head did this come out of? Who and what's their story? Like what led them? So the writer Alejandro saying, "Look, I felt like it was a calling. That's what made me write The Sound of Freedom." He said, "This is what made me do that. I wanted to shed light. I feel like the world needs to talk about sex trafficking more. This is what this writer is saying openly in the media right now." 1 second, guys. But anyways, the movie Us is crazy. I know y'all seen it by now. It was kind of based off this. The most I found about it because people wanted to know if there was a true story or not, and it was based off of this charity called Hands Across America. It was supposedly a real charity in the early '80s. So now that much I did find out is real information. There's a real charity called Hands Across America. But sometimes you may have a writer, you might have somebody who wants to challenge, and that's what's beautiful about our freedom to, what I'm saying, independently put our own work out here, to have our own views, to have our own opinions. Somebody might have wanted to stand up and challenge what charity, what we think it is, what it's about. Have we ever stopped to take the time to think about what's going on behind the scenes of places that call themselves charities or calling themselves doing charity work? That's why movies like this make millions of dollars. It must have already been in the back of people's head that it could be crazier stuff that's deeper than things could be deeper than what meets the eye. Most people at this point of the world where we stand do believe that much. That there's always more to a story, that there's two sides of a story and then there's the truth. So, what writers and producers are often able to do is make money off the emotions of its customers, its viewers, right? This go for music, any type of entertainment. If the emotions of the people, if there's no knowledge of that, if they're, you know what I'm saying, they're not really going to capitalize and make money. You know what I'm saying? Whoever idea it was to let's do a redo Hollywood movie of Elvis Presley life, they were smart. Every time they do something with Elvis Presley, people are definitely going to invest in it. That actor, that was his big break. The man that played Elvis Presley recently, the lady that played the Little Mermaid recently, the lady that played when they have these breakout roles in big movies like that, that's not just money. Those are doors open to other projects that they will definitely be considered for. So I don't see myself in the acting world or entertainment like that. But behind the scenes, probably writing, recording, producing, editing, that's definitely going to be my life. We definitely should be doing what we enjoy doing. Something like communications, news, media. Um, the world for a long time has always found a way to keep people updated. It didn't matter what culture, what you in, from mail to meetings, however they had to do it, gathering. They found a way to keep the people updated. Newspapers, when it came to communications and media. So, for those who hadn't seen this psychological thriller, this psychological horror film, it's pretty much about duplicates of a family, or what we would describe as clones or doppelgangers, coming back to invade a family's home. They were their exact clones, pretty much. It was a family of four, but the family of four notices they're being stalked and harassed by another family of four that looks just like them. Now, all these years, it came out in 2019, and my first time seeing it was 2 weeks ago. So that's how busy I've been. A lot of us saw a lot of movies when we had to stay at home during the pandemic. During that time, I was a busy bee, busy with business. I didn't have time for TVs and movies. But guess what? I checked it out the other day. I was like, this movie is crazy. I seen Black Phone too. I'll probably do a movie review on that one. Because Black Phone was based off of a lot of 70s crimes when it came to uh, trafficking and kidnappings. And, it just seemed like the 70s and 80s was a horrible time. Like those type of crimes, there was definitely an uprising in them. with kidnapping kids and that type of stuff. So I will do a movie review too on that movie Black Phone. Very interesting. They did their best to try to bring it out as a horror, but it was actually based on real crimes and real people did suffer. So I'm back, guys. Thank you guys for staying with me so far. Uh, yeah, they were like a clone of the family who came to pretty much haunt them. Keep up with me, guys. One sec. Yeah, it's crazy. I say it should be titled a psychological thriller. It should be left in that genre because when if we notice in the intro of this movie, the writer decides, the producer decides to put a whole Bible scripture. If you've seen the movie Us, the Bible scripture was Jeremiah 11:11. And even if you didn't know the Bible and you chose to spend your money and go see this movie, you saw that at the beginning of this movie. It is what it is. You spent your 11, 12, $15 to go to Hollywood, go to the theaters and support Hollywood to go see this movie Us, to support this writer, this producer, Jordan Peele. Okay? Ain't nothing wrong with it. Keep up with me, y'all. And it shows this scripture, Jeremiah 11:11. At the very intro of the movie. So now, if I'm gonna do a movie review, I gotta speak on this, and I gotta bring out who Jeremiah was. Where did he get Jeremiah 11:11 from? The producer, the writer, Hollywood. Why they were okay with this movie coming out? This is not one of the movies, the one called Us, that was rejected. No, that was The Sound of Freedom. That was Passion of the Christ. No, this one right here. In the beginning, it say Jeremiah 11:11. Once again, even if you weren't a believer, if you was in a theater watching that movie or you checked it out at home, however you saw that at the beginning of the movie. Yes, 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 yes. So who was Jeremiah? It was a scripture. That's what that Jeremiah 11:11 was. And he even, the writer, he put what the scripture said. Therefore, thus said the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon them. The writer of this is what it says in the introduction of the movie of Us, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. That's what Jeremiah 11:11 say. Yeah. So y'all check that out when you get a chance. It's in the Bible. It talks about pretty much the Lord Himself can bring a evil upon you, which you cannot escape because the Lord Himself put it on you. You're not gonna get away from it. That's what Jeremiah 11:11 really do say. This ain't church this morning. We talking about the movie Us. But the next thing you know, this family of four has doppelganger clone slash type images of themselves following them around their city, around their home, trying to attack them. Pretty much their clones were being used in a way to play with this family's emotions, just create torments and fears in this family's home. So it made you think after you watched this movie, if I ever had to face myself, would I be able to do it? If I ever had to just defeat the most darkest areas of myself, the most evil that I can be, would I be able to do it? That's what the movie Us makes you think about. Now, why would you wait till you're actually in that circumstance? That lady didn't know something like that would happen to her family. She just knew that she always remembered having dark experiences as a child. She did try to, she did, it's like the writer did a good job to try to display that. I believe the producers did a good job with that movie. If this was their way of trying to give an example of what that scripture was saying. I didn't know. I know I wasn't the only one caught that. And I'm probably a late movie reviewer on this one. But that is something we need to look at. If we looked at movies like The Purge and we looked at this is one that, no, this is nothing you can put on Hollywood. This is nothing you can put on a writer. No, 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 no. The Bible really do say that in Jeremiah 11:11. It really does say that the Lord can bring a evil. He has the capability. He has the power. It can just be a book to you. It can just be nothing. But then movies like Us can make you think. He can bring a evil upon you, which you shall not be able to escape, and you can cry unto him to save you from that evil, and he will not listen to you. What could a person do? What could a person do to bring this kind of wrath up against themselves? I'm not mocking the writer of this movie once again. I'm here to commend him because everybody could have took this movie a different way. Once again, you got some that consider it a horror. You have others like me that's like, no, let's leave that in a genre of psychological thriller for sure. It's something that makes us think of how scary things could really be or get, or have we put thought into that? That's why I like that genre, mystery. Mystery, call it that, because the scripture this writer and these producers chose to put at the beginning of this film, sometimes you might get a little pre-excerpt of something the writer or the author wants you to know before you get into the story. And that's what this for anybody that hasn't seen Us, that's what this writer, that's the name of the movie, Us. That's what this writer chose to use was this scripture. Give this video a like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Share with somebody that you know probably talked about this movie all the time, that loves this movie, that is a Jordan Peele fan, the writer of Get Out. Share this with them because these are new things that I found out, and I'm getting more intrigued in doing movie reviews. So I know it's thousands of people doing them already, but y'all gotta hear my perceptions on some of these movies straight up. So yeah, that's what Jeremiah 11 really, really, really do say. That could be one of those evils. Jordan Peele's right about that. The writers, the producers are right about that. That could be one of those things. So we already know that research with this type of stuff is already, you know what I'm saying, cloning cells, cloning lab meat, whatever they said they're gonna start making. It was approved recently, actually. This is a great time to talk about this movie. Now that I think about it, we're not talking about family members yet or nothing like that. Like this writer made this movie about. We're just talking about doing this to lab meat and embryos and cells and skin cells, like things science is already able to do, guys. Whether you choose to feel like it's important or not, every day they're doing more experiments to get better and better at duplicating what is natural. Are y'all keeping up? Are y'all keeping up? I'm waiting for some viewers to come back. Y'all got to start viewing these, and so I can stay motivated. I'm only gonna get more motivated the more, but I'm back. So y'all gonna see me all over this place with movie reviews, interviews with writers, authors, like we had beginning. Sometimes you just re-inspired for sure. These cloning of cells and skin and all this different stuff, microchips is already happening. But see, that movie came out in 2019. It was a great motion picture, and it made a lot of money. It's about duplicates of a family invading a home. They called them in the movie the Tethered. What's funny about that Tethered, y'all? Tethered. What does there's a game called Tetherball, okay? But then when it comes to internet and glitching and all of that type of stuff, they call it Tethered. It got something to do with technology for sure. But they call them the tethered. That's what the clones are called. Like these malfunctioned clones that have planned you know what I'm saying, a uprising against the real mankind. And we can't. It just brings back that discussion again. Can these things really happen? Let's not call this movie a horror. Let's call it the psychological thriller that it is. It's just something that makes you think. I started off saying that we all pretty much at this point might believe that there's always something more than what meets the eye. So you can take that how you want to. Spirituality, subliminal messaging, programming, all of this type of stuff. It's very real. But we'll just put it in the terms as deeper than what meets the eye. And as long as we stay on the fence of, oh, I don't know what everybody on. But that's what this movie made me feel like. Yeah, these these duplicates at the end of the movie, the truth comes out that they're like from underground. They've been underground. They've been prisoners there, and they're tired of it. This is a great time to bring up. They get tired of living down there, and they just plan an uprising against the. They plan to replace the real families with themselves that have been living underground, and they're their duplicates. It's something that make you think. Now, in Haiti right now, recently they've had an uprising of the common people against the gangsters, against the madness out there. It's never been seen before. They're on the news. I'm gonna find that link, y'all, and make sure I leave that in the comments. And it's not gonna help you to just click on the links of my lives like after I post them, because you're not gonna know why I posted it. So it's important for you to see how in real life you have a body of people who just recently, even if it was on another island in another country, who said no more. If our government is not going to help us, if they're not going to stand up for, like people that have been tormented by gangs and mafia and mobs and stuff for generations. I couldn't do nothing but watch it, and my heart went out. But I know it's wrong. I don't see how revolting and warring all the time automatically fixes the situation. It just means more bloodshed. Like I've never saw the significance in it, but war many times has led to great change. This is shown all to us through history, and then they expect me not to see this. When they put out a movie like Us, that was just a psychological thriller, like a certain group of people that they could use, for example, to say, hey, it could be robots, it could be other things that do this, that rise up against mankind, aliens or these clones. That's a really sinister agenda to want to go and replace the real families with your versions of them. They look like a splitting image of these same people, but they're not them. So first you parade and charade it around in Hollywood, for real. Well, at least the conscious community thinks so. They've been saying for years that these are clones or these are robots or these are artificial humans, sometimes doppelgangers, whatever. That we're not dealing it's a time for us to really. I don't know if it's the movie that needs to make us look at this scripture, Jeremiah 11:11 I just read. I don't know. But there's a time where your eyes should be so open that you can really, really see. And this is what I mean. If someone just comes to you in the form of your mother and looks just like your mother and talks just like your mother and stands like your mother and everything, but it's not her, would you still know it? It's just a question that makes you think. That's why I feel like that movie should be considered a genre of psychological thriller. I've said it a million times on this stream, and not a horror. Yeah, like would you know your real people? Like if somebody was cloned very close to you, they left the last thing you know, they left and went to the store. But you because you're not paying attention like that in your life, you don't notice that the person that came back from the store, they're dressed like the person that left. They look like them, they talk like them, they stand like them, but something's not right about that individual. You're like to you, it's not that person. Mm, mm, mm. I just be wondering how many of us probably have actually experienced this and don't know it. Like the real person still walks amongst us, but somebody duplicate of them is trying to see how much confusion that would just start off the rip. Like we don't need five, six duplicates, seven duplicates of everybody walking around. I don't believe that. I don't stand for that. I don't think that's cool. Now, something natural like twins and triplets, quadruplets, they can't help that because, and sometimes they don't always all look identical, but I'm using them for example. That's natural. They can't help that they were all born naturally all looking alike. See how they're all still different people? To sit there and just try to hold, copy, and imitate a person is just straight villainish and evil to me off the rip. Like it's a sinister one of those things only a villain would come up with to me. Like on a superhero movie. Marvel, the Marvel writer, that's another epic, honorable one that we can give our references to over here at the Crown Content Publications family. Marvel is still making millions of dollars, okay? So that's why we encourage writers over here. You might have a vision the world haven't seen yet. People hadn't seen nothing like Marvel before Marvel. People hadn't seen something like Stephen King before Stephen King. People hadn't seen nothing like Walt Disney before the Disney family. People hadn't seen, now, we're not talking about these people character yet. We're just talking about the type of work they brought to the world, the type of ideas and visions they had that really did take off, that really did change the dynamics of their family for the rest of life. Okay? Something as simple as writing. If a duplicate stood before you right now, what's a duplicate? It's a copycat. It's like another version. You might have your Apple iPhones and you might have your iPhones that are of another version, of another cell phone carrier. Would you still know the generic? Y'all can do this with purses. That's what get me about it. We can tell when something is generic in the physical world, but if something is imitated, duplicated, like your meat, your boyfriend, I'm saying your literal meat, they just passed a law to sell lab grown meat. I just feel like it should come with the stipulation that they do have to at least advertise in the grocery stores, at the restaurants, that it is lab grown meat. Like, don't just throw it out there because it became legal. At least still notify the citizens, give your customers the right to make the choice if they want to eat that or not. Do not just throw it in our food because you learn how to clone lab meat cells. That's crazy. or you learn how to integrate and make vegetables and fruit bigger by injecting them with things that make them bigger so you can make more money. Bigger chicken legs, bigger oranges, bigger watermelons, okay? And now we have to deal with the meat. They're not leaving us with many options. I've bought so much powdered milk and canned milk because I already see the time coming. I know people be like, drink the almond milk. And I know one of my last options might be coconut milk. But other than that, all that's going to change soon. We know where the milks used to come from, goats and cows, the normal natural way. But even things are happening with the cows and stuff, right? So we have to keep up and know what's going on around us because when we start being offered duplicates to replace the things that are beginning to malfunction, will we be able to tell the difference? I hate to say malfunction like that, but yeah, to me, we even have whole human beings doing it. They don't have to malfunction, but they choose not to have peace through these circumstances and times that we are living through. You know? So I'm not here to take anything from Mr. Jordan Peele, the writer of the movie Us. I just wanted to kind of give my opinion and my viewpoints of where he might have been trying to take us, when it came to his mind as a writer, where he was trying to take us, the viewers, the readers, the listeners, his audience. He's like, look at this scripture. It's the whole intro of the movie, Jeremiah 11:11. The Lord talking about bringing up the evil upon people that they cannot remove from themselves. It's not gonna matter which doctor, what you can go to. Why would you want to even test something to see? Like you can make God this angry. You can play with him to the brink of things that he brings something like this upon you. It's not gonna matter where you seek help on the earth. Only he can remove it type of deal. You don't want to play with God like that. It says they shall not be able to escape, and though they shall cry unto me, I will not. Like he goes on and on, like even when you cry, I'm not gonna hearken. You must have been a really super type of evil for somebody to, and they're turning their whole head, which we all sin and fall short. So what level of evil is this? Where I bring something upon you that you can't take off. It's leprosy stories going around Florida right now. And we are living in the new era of 2023. Yeah, y'all go check that out. I'm gonna do another segment about that, but there's leprosy story and cases happening in the state of Florida right now. Do y'all know what leprosy is? Yeah, leprosy is like not a fun thing to deal with. Okay, that's it can cause you to lose limbs. Um, it can affect your blood count and stuff like that. It's not something fun to deal with. This is the cash app again for anybody that might want to be a blessing to the channel and support the Crown Content mission to continue assisting independent writers and freelancers. You can learn more about how we assist them too if you visit my website soon, www.contentcrownpublications.com. We have publication services, content management services, promotion services for independent entrepreneurs and authors. I'm not going to say too much because this is not one of my business segment streams. If you want to learn more, just check out that website sometime. But the more writers we can support through after effects of pandemics and stuff like that, we can keep our world of entertainment, industry, art, and things like this alive. We have new babies even coming up, getting into these. They're writers, they're poets, they're engineers. They want to get into the world of communications. We can only do that one mission at a time. Um, one service at a time, helping authors, no matter how young they are, writers, helping them with the resources and grants and referrals they need for their small businesses. You can learn a lot about us on our website. And we thank you guys for your support. I'm gonna end this stream now. And you guys can give me a like. Let me know. I told y'all to post a one in the comments. It lets me know if you'd like to see me do more movie reviews in the future. Appreciate your support, guys. Y'all have a blessed Sunday out there.